What if I told you that knowing more about money has almost nothing to do with how wealthy you become? Not your salary, not your degree, not even your investment strategy. Morgan Housel, one of the most respected financial writers alive, spent years studying the richest and the poorest people on earth. And what he found wasn't about numbers at all. It was about behavior, psychology, the way people think. This book, The Psychology of Money, will quietly rewire how you see wealth, spending, and your future. And today, I'm breaking down the 5 ideas that hit the hardest. Stay with me, because idea number 3 is the one nobody talks about, and it might be the reason you're still stuck. Here's the first idea, and it's going to make you more patient with yourself. Nobody is crazy with money. They're just working with a different experience than you. Think about it. Someone who grew up broke and watched their parents stress over rent every month is going to spend and save completely differently from someone who grew up comfortable. Neither of them is wrong. They're both making decisions based on what they've personally lived through. Housel's point is this: your relationship with money was shaped before you were even old enough to make decisions about it. Your fears, your habits, your risk tolerance, all of it was formed by your environment. So before you judge yourself for bad financial decisions in the past, understand that you were operating from a script that was written for you, not by you. The good news? You can rewrite it, but only once you know it exists. Quick question, and I genuinely want to know your answer. Do you think most people struggle with money because of knowledge or because of behavior? Drop it in the comments right now. Knowledge or behavior? I'll tell you exactly what Housel says before this video ends. The second idea is one that will change how you look at successful people forever. Luck and risk are 2 sides of the same coin, and we almost always ignore both. When someone succeeds, we say they worked hard, they were smart, they made the right moves. When someone fails, we say they didn't try hard enough or made bad choices. But Housel uses a powerful example: Bill Gates. Gates went to one of the only high schools in the entire world that had a computer in 1968. What are the odds of that? He was brilliant, yes. He worked obsessively, yes. But he also got extraordinarily lucky with the environment he was born into. Does that take anything away from what he built? Absolutely not. But it should make you humble about your own success and more compassionate about other people's failure. Because the person who failed might have been one lucky break away from the same result you got. And the risk you took that paid off, someone else took the same risk and lost everything. Success and failure are never 100% deserved. Remember that. This is the one I promised you, the one nobody talks about, the concept of enough. Housel tells the story of 2 men, Kurt Vonnegut and Joseph Heller, both famous authors. They were at a billionaire's party, and Vonnegut pointed out that their host had made more money in a single day than Heller had earned from his entire novel Catch-22 in its lifetime. Heller smiled and said, "Yes, but I have something he will never have. Enough." That word, enough. We live in a world that is constantly telling you to want more. More money, more status, a bigger house, a newer car. And so the goalpost keeps moving. You earn more, you want more. You get more, you need more. And the dangerous thing about never having enough is that it pushes people to take risks they don't need to take and lose things they already have. The happiest, most financially free people Housel studied weren't necessarily the richest. They were the ones who had defined what enough looked like for them and stopped there. So let me ask you, do you know what enough looks like for you? Most people have never even thought about it. I want you to actually sit with that for a second. What does enough look like for you? What's the number, the lifestyle, the feeling? Tell me in the comments. Seriously, most people go their whole lives chasing a number they never defined. Don't be that person. You've probably heard about compound interest before, but Housel explains it in a way that will make you see it completely differently. Warren Buffett has a net worth of around $80 billion. But here's what most people don't know. 96% of that money was made after his 65th birthday. Let that sink in. He didn't become the world's greatest investor because he had the best returns. Plenty of investors have had better annual returns than Buffett. He became the world's greatest investor because he started at age 10 and never stopped. Time is the real asset. Not strategy, not intelligence, time. The problem is that compounding is boring. It doesn't feel exciting to be patient. It doesn't feel like progress when nothing dramatic is happening. So most people interrupt the process. They pull money out, they switch strategies, they chase the next big thing. The greatest financial skill isn't picking the right stock. It's leaving things alone long enough for compounding to do its work. Good investing is mostly about doing nothing, and that goes completely against human nature, which is exactly why so few people actually get rich. The last idea is the most practical and probably the most counterintuitive. You don't need a reason to save money. Most people save for something specific. A car, a house, a vacation. And the moment that goal is reached, or abandoned, the saving stops. But Housel argues that the most powerful thing you can save for is flexibility. Options. The ability to say no to things you don't want to do. The ability to say yes to opportunities when they appear. He calls it buying freedom with money. Think about it. If you lost your job today, how many months could you survive comfortably without panic? For most people, it's less than 90 days. That's not a financial problem, that's a psychology problem. Because the income was always being spent as fast as it came in. The person with savings has options. The person without savings has pressure. And pressure makes people make bad decisions. Taking the wrong job, staying in the wrong situation, making desperate financial moves. Save without a reason. Save for freedom. That's the goal. Remember the question I asked you at the beginning? Knowledge or behavior? Which one holds people back from wealth? Housel's answer is clear. Behavior. Every single time. The world is full of people who understand how money works, but still live paycheck to paycheck. And there are people with average incomes who retire wealthy because their relationship with money, their habits, their patience were all working in their favor. This is what the psychology of money is really about. It's not a finance book. It's a behavior book. And that's exactly why it hits so differently. If this video made you think differently about money, even just a little, then it did its job. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel is one of those books that stays with you. I've dropped a link in the description where you can grab a copy, and also a link to download it for free if you prefer that route. Now, here's what I need from you. If you know someone who needs to hear this, a friend, a sibling, anyone chasing money without understanding it, send this video to them right now. That's the most powerful thing you can do today. Subscribe to PageWealth, because the next video is going to hit even harder than this one. We're going deeper, and you don't want to miss it. I'll see you in the next one.